So this video is 18 minutes, a little over 18 minutes long. We'll watch it, react to it. I might pause during it. I spent 1 year remaking Super Mario World in 3D. What's the name of the creator? Bobby Ivar. So this video has blown up a little bit since it got posted in my Discord. So a lot of people have watched it, and now I'm gonna watch it. Let's do it. Hopefully you guys can hear me and hear the video. I did the test earlier, so hopefully everything's good.
In this video, I'm gonna reimagine the original Super Mario World in 3D. I'm gonna make absolutely everything in levels 1, 2, and even Yoshi's Island
itself. This is 2 levels.
Starting with this guy.
But still crazy.
So the original Mario is made up of a lot of 2D sprites, which means the first thing I had to do was model every single one in 3D. This took days, but as soon as I saw his animations, it definitely felt worth the effort.
Like
now our Mario
RPG,
can run, jump,
RPG.
Sprint with his little Italian legs, crouch, and even soar through the air when he sprint jumps,
is
just
this
like he can in the
playable,
original.
or is this a video?
After that, I made Mario's ability to jump and spin jump on his enemies, as well as his
animated,
HP system.
or is this an
so
actual
Super Mushrooms
playable
transform
thing?
him into Super Mario, taking a hit turns him back into Small Mario, and the second hit is game over.
Oh, this is so cool.
Now that Mario is ready, let's start making our first of 2 levels, level 1-2.
I know this
started
level
by
very
converting
well.
all the 2D platform tiles into 3D and then use those to make a level building tool. This lets us build this massive base platform that we need for this level, along with the smaller platforms that go on top.
Okay.
For the background, I placed this tree asset I made a few hundred times until it looked like a treetop canopy. Then I added the classic Mario clouds and changed the color of the sky to feel like a sunset.
And
after adding some finishing touches like the fog and falling leaves, the environment is ready. Time to start making everything in the level, starting with the Koopas. The first thing we need to do for these guys is make their movement AI. So let's have them patrol along a path, then if Mario gets in range, they break away from their patrol path and start chasing Mario. But if Mario gets far enough away from them, they'll stop chasing Mario and organize themselves back into their patrol path.
That's so cool.
Unless they literally have 0 IQ and get stuck on everything. But that won't happen because I gave them the ability to traverse most platforms. So Mario can defeat Koopas with a single spin jump, but if he normal jumps on one, it drops its shell and becomes a shellless Koopa.
Look at that naked Koopa.
I didn't know this, but if Mario walks into it while it's vulnerable, he actually kicks it automatically.
Finish him. Fatality.
But if it somehow survives the Wiggly stage, it looks for a shell to jump back into and becomes a full Koopa again. Mario can also pick up shells and kick them at his enemies. We also need to make shells bounce off of any walls or blocks they hit, as well as add the UI for the game and the score system. There's actually a slight difference between the red and green Koopas. The red ones will avoid cliffs and turn around, while the green ones, well... Alright, the Koopas are ready and look great in the level, but there's one more problem. Since the Koopas immediately run at you the second you're in range, you never get an opportunity to get that perfect one-up with the shell like you can in the original. So to fix this, we're gonna have these Koopas ignore Mario until he jumps on one. Then they'll panic for a second before chasing Mario like normal. Now you'll always have a chance to get that nostalgic one-up. And next, I started working on this treasure chest that I don't remember being here. Mario, go check it out. Oh yeah, it's the sponsor of today's video, AG1. AG1's a daily health drink that's packed with 75 vitamins, minerals,
AG1
and whole food
promoted by
source
a lot of
ingredients,
creators.
with prebiotics and probiotics for gut health, plus antioxidants and functional mushrooms to help support your immune system. No wonder Mario loves his mushrooms so much.
Finish him.
All this makes it one of the easiest things you could do for your health, which is exactly why it's been a part of my morning routine for quite a while now. My personal favorite thing is how convenient it is to make. All I need to do is pour some powder into a water bottle, and just like that, I have clean energy and peace of mind knowing all my nutritional bases are covered for the day. And honestly, if it's good enough for a 7-time Olympic gold medalist, it's definitely good enough for me. So what are you waiting for? Use the link in my description or scan the QR code to to get a free bottle of vitamin D3 and
What? I didn't really
K2,
try.
plus a welcome kit that comes with 4 free items with your first
I want to
subscription
see more
of
of this level.
AG1. Thank you to AG1 for sponsoring this
Okay,
segment
cool.
of the video.
Thanks, AG1.
Alright, time to make Yoshi. Let's add another 30 Yoshi frames to the pile of models I already made. I'm getting faster at making these, but it still took me easily 10 hours.
You don't need a baby
Maybe I
Yoshi.
should stop making these models from one
Do
pixel
you?
at a time. But like I said before, the results are always worth it, especially after coding Mario's ability to ride Yoshi, which looks amazing. Now it's time to add Yoshi's jump attack, which defeats most enemies in one hit. Yoshi also takes the first hit for Mario, but then he'll endlessly run away while crying until you manage to catch him. Most importantly though, jumping off Yoshi gives you an extra boost. So you can, as God intended, sacrifice him to make those extra long jumps.
No, that's
I
not what's
also coded
intended.
Yoshi's
Poor Yoshi.
tongue. He can eat stuff now, and
You
I can add
monster.
as many as I want. Like 2 tongues, 10, or however many
What?
this is.
Okay.
Based on the color of shell Yoshi eats, he gains different abilities, like spitting out a green shell, or fire breathing if you eat red
Oh, this
shells.
looks so-
Koopas are also supposed to drop coins when they get hit by fireballs. So let's make the coins real quick.
Okay.
Collecting 100 regular coins, or 5 or more dragon coins, grants Mario an extra life. Now, let's try this again with a couple more Koopas. Next, I made the berries and the berry bushes. The green berries are only found in the final 2 levels, and add 20 seconds to the
That's-
timer for
that's
each
true.
berry Yoshi eats. After Yoshi
I was
eats
actually
2
kinda
pink
curious
berries,
if
lay
he
an
knew
egg that
that.
hatches into a small cloud,
feel
which
like that's
drops
a
10 of
lesser
these
known
bonus
fact.
coins. If Mario collects all 10, he's rewarded with a 1-up mushroom. The red berries are the most common type. If Yoshi eats 10 red berries, he plops down an egg that hatches into a super mushroom. Then I gave Mario the ability to run through bushes and place them in the level along with the 2 shellless Koopas and coins that go here. After that, I made him place the question mark block. It can give coins, super mushrooms, 1-up mushrooms, or whatever I want. And the last one's important because this block spawns Yoshi. I know Baby Yoshi and the different colors are not in the first 2 levels, but after seeing how
Okay, that
adorable
answers
they
that
looked,
question, I guess.
just had to make them. Mario can feed Baby Yoshi by picking him up and running into enemies.
Some creative license.
He could even kick Baby Yoshi at them, which is a bit mean, but after eating 5 times, he grows into a big Yoshi.
I like the Minecraft graphics.
This is the only way to get red, yellow, or blue Yoshis in the game. Red Yoshis will always shoot fireballs no matter what color shell they eat. And the next 2 have different powers that are only active while there's a shell in their
That's
mouth.
actually
For the
not
yellow Yoshis,
true.
they create earthquakes
You can get
whenever
a
they
blue
land
Yoshi.
after a jump.
By collecting the Yoshi wings.
And the blue Yoshis have the ability to fly, so you can
So that
technically
is
just
that
skip
is
the
incorrect,
entire level
sir.
and fly straight to
The
the
other
end
2
if
is
you
true.
want.
You can only get them by beating,
And now
by
if you
growing the
combine
baby
them all
Yoshis,
together,
but
we have a flying,
you can get a blue Yoshi
earthquake
by
making, fire breathing,
getting the
shell
Yoshi
spinning,
wings with a regular
Cthulhu of a
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
It turns it into
Okay,
a blue
now
Yoshi.
that I got that out of my system, let's move on to the Lookout Chuck. This guy has 3 HP and is immune to Mario's jumps for a brief second after each hit. But shells and Yoshi fireballs are super effective, defeating him in only 1 hit. Once Lookout Chuck spots Mario in range, he charges at Mario in a straight line. But this is a bit too easy to dodge in 3D, and I didn't want to just keep on increasing Lookout Chuck's speed until he becomes some sort of anime supervillain. So, to give old Chuck a chance, he now follows Mario as he charges.
in 3D that makes
This is
sense.
looking good, but I still don't like how he faces away from Mario and then instantly turns and charges. So, I gave him a little hop to help visualize his attack.
You know, I think I
And after
prefer
adding
the
a
just
couple more things like
instantly
these
changing
coins and this
directions.
checkpoint, this
I don't
part is
know why.
done, and we can move on to the Monty Mole. The personality of the Monty Moles is all in the way they move, so instead of having them run straight towards Mario, let's have them trail and drift as they approach. This really helps make them feel pesky and way too fast for their own good, which fits them perfectly. Monty Mole also has the ability to hop, and that's when I ran into this problem. They would jump on each other a bit too much and form into some kind of boss from Elden Ring. I'm not going to place this many in the level, but still, they shouldn't stack on top of each other at all.
69 for 20 souls.
So, I gave them a separate, taller capsule collision that only blocks other Monty Moles, and that solved the problem. Also, you don't just find Monty Moles out in the wild. They live in these dens that they spawn from whenever Mario gets too close. And after placing a reasonable amount of spawners in the level, I started working on the spinning blocks. When Mario hits them, they either spin for a bit before returning back to normal, or they turn into empty blocks if they have anything in them, like these beanstalk ladders. On top of that, if they're empty and Super Mario spin jumps on them, they crumble. Now we can place the spinning blocks in the level and have Mario shimmy his way up to the heavens, where the cloud blocks wait and he can collect some more coins. And after adding these coins and the dotted blocks, this section is completed and we can move on to the cave.
Okay.
So that we're all on the same page, here's what the original cave looks like. The game has such a timeless look, I really hope I could do it justice. I started by adding the cave textures and lighting. Then I made the green exit pipe and placed some rocks around the edges. After that, I used the single pillar asset to make the background. I also placed some in the foreground to help frame the cave.
Wow, this looks really cool.
To make the flying block, we just need to combine the question mark block with the wings that we already made. Then make them fly along a path, and most importantly, they need to lose their wings and turn into an empty block when hit. Seeing them fly around makes them feel like they're alive. So I thought it would be interesting to include them in the background as a migrating colony of flying blocks. Now if you look closely enough, you can see them flying around. Next, I made the blue block. When Mario grabs one, he has 10 seconds to use it to hit a flying block before it crumbles. And with that, here's what the cave looks like with everything put together. I'm really happy with how it turned out, so let's move on to the next section. The Piranha Plant. The Piranha Plant was a pretty easy one to make. The only thing it does is jump up when Mario is not in range. Pretty simple. That, and Mario takes no damage if he spin jumps on it or while he's on Yoshi. It's a shame we can just easily walk past it in 3D though. Maybe I can add a dragon coin to bait Mario into the Piranha Plant. Or I can turn the pipe into a Piranha Plant spawner, this way it's impossible to run past it without consequence. Or my personal favorite solution, I can give the Piranha Plant some piranha guns.
Very accurate.
But I decided
exactly how I
them is
remember it.
probably the best option. After all, it gets the job done and I like seeing more Piranha Plants. Next up is the P-switch. When Mario jumps on it, we just need to turn all the regular coins into empty blocks for 10 seconds. And when the timer ends, sorry Mario. Let's place the P-switch between these spinning blocks. Add the coins, along with the charging chuck and the exit gate that he guards. When Mario crosses the exit gate, the level ends and this iconic sequence
just because
plays.
of the 3D
the only
making
issue
it
is
look
it's
wider,
really
makes it also
complicated
look
to
lower.
remake perfectly in 3D. So I'll save it for the end of the next level, which we're gonna make in a bit. That being said, we finished everything for this level and we can move on to the next exciting challenge,
This does look a bit
Yoshi's
right now.
Island.
It's just really wide.
Yoshi's Island is at legendary levels of nostalgia, so I'm gonna try my absolute best to make it look proper in 3D. Let's start by making all the props. There are about 15 of them, and I made sure to place them as accurately as possible to the original. Then I added the water, which turned out to be one of my favorite parts. After that, I placed the different types of foliage, and added the moving elements like the clouds and chimney smoke from Yoshi's house, along with some VFX. Next I added Mario's level selector, and made the animations that play after beating level 2 and level 1, which we're gonna make in a moment.
This looks pretty good.
What we need to do next is capture this view that we're looking at right now and project it onto this 3D plane. Add the background and space it out
okay,
a bit
this
to
looks
get this
amazing.
very important cast shadow. Then anchor a camera here for our perspective. And now, when we rotate the 3D plane, we get this really
This is the
interesting
coolest part
illusion,
so far.
kind of like we're looking through a window or a portal into Yoshi's Island. Now we just need to add the text at the top along with Mario. In the original, this Mario reflects your current state, big, small, or whatever power-up you have. But for some reason, the original doesn't show Mario riding Yoshi here, even though he's shown riding Yoshi on the map. I didn't want to perpetuate this discrimination, so I added all the different colors of Yoshi to the
That's
UI.
cool.
Also, did you know Luigi was a playable
He
character in
is?
this game?
I don't believe
And he
you.
was literally just Mario's sprite, but green. So, I'll just copy Mario over, make him objectively worse, and we have Luigi. And now that we completed Yoshi's Island, let's move on to our next level, level 1-1. I remember this level being packed with so much fun things as a kid that I honestly can't wait to see how this turns out. I started by making this stylized fog and simple blue sky. Then added these polka dotted blue hills and pill clouds, along with some VFX like wind lines and god rays. You know, the usual. Alright, I can't wait to make all the new things in this level, so let's get started with the blue Shellless Koopa.
More
The blue
naked
variant of the
Koopas.
Shellless Koopa is
Dope
the most
scene.
powerful type. They're thicker and faster than the other types. On top of that, the blue Koopaling is the only enemy that has the ability to stop throwable objects like shells and kick them right back at Luigi. What an absolute menace. But this does come at the cost of them not being able to jump back into their shells.
Oh.
One of them slides down the slope right when the level starts. And unlike the other types, Luigi doesn't just instinctually kick it in the face when it's vulnerable. You take damage instead. Foul creature. Let's add this dragon coin and move on to Rex. Rex is a pretty simple enemy. When Luigi jumps on one, it suffers tremendous brain damage, but gains the ability to run a bit faster. And the second hit puts the poor thing out of its misery. Also, if Luigi's feeling merciful, a single spin jump sends it to the afterlife. So let's add a couple of them here, along with the flying block that has one of my favorite power-ups in it, the Fire Flower. For the Fire Flower, I started by creating its color palette for both Luigi and Mario. Then I made the Fireball model, along with its material and VFX. I thought it would be interesting to experiment with the Fireball's physics, but I didn't like how they would just slowly stop bouncing and eventually just roll on the ground. So I just kept it like the original. Also, Mario is only supposed to shoot fireballs out of his right hand, but instead, I made him switch his firing hand with each shot and made this seamlessly blend with all of Mario's running and jumping animations. The other thing is, when Fire Mario spin jumps, he shoots 2 fireballs, but this feels a little bit lackluster in 3D. Luckily, I coded it to easily shoot any amount of fireballs we want, like 10, 100, or as much as my computer can handle.
Oh my god, my eyes.
As fun as it is to see Mario shoot fireballs as much as his little Italian heart desires, it's probably best that we cap the max amount of fireballs alive at once to 8. Oh, and I forgot to mention, extra power-ups are stored up here in the item slot and are dropped down whenever you want or automatically when damage is taken. Next, I added these green pipes, some more dino dudes, and a few more that run around these slanted platforms to fill the space better, and another dragon coin. This next part of the level has some piranha plants, as well as this cheeky mushroom that pops out of this bush whenever Luigi walks too close.
Never mind.
And this pipe surrounded by stone blocks, which leads to another cave. But this one has some coins in it instead of flying blocks. Also, this cave exit leads Luigi through a launch pipe, which sends him flying over some piranha plants and into a checkpoint. We skipped over what the message block does in the last level, so this time, let's see what it does. Interesting. This platform has a lot more Rexes and a slope that Luigi can slide down. I did run into a sliding bug though, but eventually I managed to fix it and made Luigi damage enemies while sliding. Moving on, we have the Bonsai Bill. I really wanted Bonsai Bill to look exactly like his original sprite, so I modeled him without using any voxels. That, and I may be a little bit traumatized from making more than 100 models.
This like 3D sprite sheet looks cool as hell.
All we need to do is make them fly in a straight line, add the trail VFX, and have them die if Luigi jumps on them.
Can you do the double hop
the challenging part with the Bonsai Bills. How do we spawn them into the level? We know that he spawns off screen in the original. The problem is, in 3D, we can see what's ahead of us, so they can't just spawn out of thin air. Originally, I thought the only way to solve this problem was to add cannons, but there's a couple of problems. One cannon is way too easy to walk past, and a whole row takes up way too much space. So I tried making Bonsai Bills follow Luigi so they can provide more of a challenge, and I wouldn't need to place as many cannons. But ultimately, I still don't like how I'm adding any cannons at all when they're not in the level in the original. So, here's my final solution. Now they spawn from underneath the fog and curve onto the level. I really like how this turned out, so I added the rest of the Bonsai Bills throughout the level, like at the start, and this bit near the end.
Yeah, that's cool.
Next, I added the rest of this section, where Luigi can get this one up if he's fast enough by running ahead and catching it before it falls into this pit. And after building out more of the level, like this spot here and this section, we have the clapping Chuck. This version of Chuck doesn't charge Luigi the moment he's in range. Instead, he tries his best to mirror Luigi's jumps in an attempt to block him from passing. This looks great, but once again, we can just walk right
Chuck
past him in 3D.
That easy.
So, I gave our boy the ability to strafe along a path while still trying to get in between Luigi and the exit gate. And if Luigi manages to jump on his head, he forgets all of that and starts charging again. Alright, thanks for watching.
50? Damn, that's skill. Yo, that was so cool. I just want to go back to this overworld thing again.
Yoshi's house, along with some VFX.
Like
Cash App, or up you have. But for some reason, the top
where's the completed
so
overworld?
much over.
I just want to see the
Luigi, Mario riding Yoshi here, even this discrimination, so I added all the different colors of Yoshi to the UI. Also, did you know Luigi was a playable character in this game? And he was
this is the part that, like, this right here is so incredibly cool looking. I love this. Wow. Now, my question is this fully just animated, which is just animated? That's still really, really impressive. Or is this like an actual playable demo that he can play? Because that would be extra amazing, and I want to play it. Send it to me, please. I want to play it.